Have you ever seen someone have a seizure? They can be very frightening to experience if you don't know what is happening. There isn't much you can do once a seizure starts, but there are ways to help people. So, what exactly is a seizure? A seizure is caused by abnormal electrical activity in the brain, parentheses Mandel. They can take on many forms and they affect people in many different ways. In the healthy brain, electrical and chemical signals are fired between nerves called neurons to drive the brain's ability to think, feel, and send instructions to the parts of the body, such as the muscles. Seizures occur when this electrical system in the brain malfunctions. Parentheses Mandel. Seizures usually have a beginning, middle, and end. Some people can sense when a seizure is about to happen and may have symptoms leading up to the seizure itself. Some of those symptoms are deja vu, smells, sounds, vision loss or blurring, fear and panic, racing thoughts, and dizzy or lightheadedness. Parentheses, what happens during a seizure. The actual part of the seizure is called the ictal phase. Common symptoms during a seizure is blacking out, unable to hear anyone, difficulty talking, repeated eye movement, twitching and jerking movements of the arms and legs, convulsions, sweating, difficulty breathing, and heart racing. These symptoms are seen in most seizures. As the seizure comes to an end, the recovery period starts. Some people will come right out of it and will feel normal. Others will take minutes and even hours to feel like their usual self again. Many things affect how long it will take a person to feel like normal again, like the type of seizure it was and what part of the brain was affected. Some symptoms people would experience after a seizure would be not being able to respond right away, confused, memory loss, difficult walking or talking, feeling scared, have a headache, upset stomach, and weakness. So you may be wondering what a seizure actually looks like. Many times a person seems to check out. They don't look like themselves, and you can tell something is wrong. You could wave a hand in their face and they wouldn't react to it. They might all of a sudden drop to the ground, and then their muscles clench and become very rigid. After this, the jerking movements start. The whole body will jerk back and forth. This can last from a few seconds to several minutes. After the seizure, the person will slowly start to come back, and a lot of times they won't remember anything that happened. And like I said before, this will make them scared. There are actually 8 different types of seizures a person can have. A focal seizure can make you hear, see, and feel things that aren't actually there. Sometimes it's called a partial seizure. The next type is a generalized seizure. This happens when nerve cells misfire, parentheses, types of seizures and their symptoms. They can make you have muscle spasms and blackout. The type that most people think about when they hear the word seizure is a tonic-clonic seizure. The body stiffens, shakes, and you lose consciousness. The next type of seizures is clonic seizures. The muscles in your body have spasms. Tonic is another type of seizure. A lot of times these happens while you're asleep and last less than 20 seconds. And then you have atonic seizures. The muscles suddenly go limp and usually last about 15 seconds. So how can you help someone that is having a seizure? Make sure to give them room and keep other people back. You don't want anyone crowding the person with the seizure. Keep sharp objects and hard things away from the person. They can hurt themselves on accident if they were to grab a hold of something. Cushion their head. They can hit their head on the ground, damaging their brain. Make sure to loosen clothing around their neck if you can. If clothing gets too tight around them, it can cut off oxygen supply to the brain. The last thing you can do is don't try to stop them from having a seizure. It can make it a lot worse. When should you call 911? If it is someone's first seizure, then you need to call 911 and go get them checked out by a doctor. They can have epilepsy or other brain problems. If the seizure lasts longer than 5 minutes, they could also have serious brain damage. Seizures are a scary thing to see. No one wants to see a seizure happen, but if you know the symptoms of someone having a seizure and know what to do, you can really help the person going through this.